Welcome back to Aether's Guide to Reality. For those of you joining us for the first time, this is a guide for the strange and often dangerous anomalies that tweak the very fabric of our worlds. If you've been following along, you'll know that we've explored some truly bizarre phenomena, and today I'm coming to you from my new office in a very minimal reality modification package of my own design. I hope you enjoy the change in scenery. Today we'll be looking at Reality Modification 1013669, known as Siren Head. Here's a closer look at what this modification entails. Reality Modification 1013669, or Siren Head, introduces a 16-block tall, abnormally thin creature resembling a tall humanoid with elongated limbs and a pair of sirens where a head would typically be. This entity, which bears the same name as the Reality Modification itself, possesses a number of abilities that can harm players and other entities in many ways. Siren Head's effect on reality predominantly impacts forested regions, where it is most frequently found. Such biomes become far more hazardous due to the creature's ability to blend in with trees, typically going unnoticed by players and other entities until too late. The modification does not appear to affect the overall structure of a reality, however it drastically increases the danger level of lots of biomes. Now, let's talk about structures. Siren poles are Class F structures comprised of a base, a tower, and a pair of sirens on top. They are often found in areas where Siren Head spawns, and their exact function is unknown. They emit visible sound waves into the air, likely suggesting some form of communication, or even a method of luring entities, players included, towards Siren Head. Further research is required. Chests located at the base of these structures sometimes contain rudimentary survival equipment such as iron gear, food, and occasionally more valuable loot, likely to pull players or other looter entities into a false sense of security. As for creatures, Siren Head is the only known entity added by this reality modification. It is an apex predator that spawns in forest biomes within the modified reality, with several attacks that can have devastating effects on the surrounding environments. Its ranged attack allows it to blast a sonic boom from its sirens at a frequency high enough to liquefy a player's brain, effectively resulting in immediate clinical death in most cases. It is possible to survive such an attack, though methods on how to do so will require more in-depth research. Siren Head also has a melee attack, allowing it to use its considerable strength to strike the ground with its large fists, causing destruction to terrain and smaller buildings, as well as small damage to larger buildings. It has a jump attack, where Siren Head jumps high into the air, using its surprising weight and power to create small tremors and further structural damage upon landing, typically killing anything underneath it instantly. On several occasions, Siren Head has demonstrated the ability to scale cliff faces, tall structures such as watchtowers and skyscrapers, and other vertical surfaces, allowing it to pursue prey far more effectively. Siren Head has also been known to try and crawl through narrower spaces in order to reach its prey, though not much is known about how narrow of a space it can crawl into due to the danger of acquiring such knowledge. It seemingly finds swimming rather difficult, and will often try to find ways to its prey that do not involve swimming. However, despite this, it is often seen disappearing into bodies of water such as lakes, rivers, and oceans, typically after a failed chase. It often attempts to lure its prey towards it by emitting sounds from its sirens that mimic various noises such as the meows of cats, barks and growls of dogs, parts or sometimes the entirety of music discs 13 and 11, air raid sirens, creepy music, radio chatter and static, and the sound of blocks being placed and or broken. These sounds will likely serve two purposes: luring prey whilst hunting, or inducing psychological distress whilst chasing. Additionally, Siren Head often engages in combat with iron golems and guard villagers from Reality Modification 360203, as well as retaliating against any other entities that attack it first. Its primary focus remains on human or humanoid entities such as players, which may suggest a specific predatory instinct or programmed directive. It is currently unknown whether Siren Head is a single unique entity or a species whose members simply look identical to one another. Despite extensive observation, only one Siren Head has been seen in any given reality at a time, which I speculate to mean it to be a solitary creature or simply one of a kind. Its reality stability rating is high at a B+. This reality modification is highly stable, with no recorded instances of reality collapse or significant corruption. Despite its extremely dangerous nature, the modification integrates seamlessly with existing realities, newly created realities, and even some older realities. Its reality impact rating is moderate at a C-. As mentioned previously, the reality modification does not directly impact the structure of an affected reality. However, its effect on the danger of forest biomes, particularly without configuration tinkering, has allowed it a moderate ranking. I personally have actually found it to be a fun challenge when the configuration is altered correctly. Now for some additional notes. Extreme caution is advised when navigating realities with Siren Head present. Survivors report that avoidance and stealth are preferable to direct engagement, especially given Siren Head's guaranteed aggression. The full extent of the reality modification's abilities remains to be seen. A few friends and I elected to call the instance that stuck around us Simon. We like Simon, until he smashes up our houses. Also, can this goddamn thing stop breaking the bottom of my watchtower? Having to rebuild it so often is seriously getting annoying. And that's all for today's entry. As always, I recommend approaching this reality modification with extreme caution and doing some tinkering with its configuration for maximum safety. Thank you again, and travel safely.